Hey guys, today we're going to learn how to tie fishing spoons onto your line. Sounds simple, but there's a few tricks you need to know. Let's go. Hey guys, I know what you're thinking. How to tie on spoons? Are you for real, dude? Everybody knows how to tie on spoons. It's the simplest lure around. And you're right, it is a totally simple lure to use. But what I see every day is people with them tied on incorrectly, not rigged up right. And so I want to make a video on how you can rig them up what I think is the correct way that will help you save your gear from line twist, backlashes, and all kinds of problems on your spinning gear. So let's go to the dimension. I'll show you how I rig these bad boys up. All right guys, let's talk about a few things you're going to need here. You're going to need some split ring pliers. These are Texas Tackle Factory. Texas Tackle, patented split ring pliers. Pick these up. There's tons of different split rings out there you can use. I like these because they're big and thick and super easy to use. You're gonna need some swivels. Got this little guy here. Whole pack of these big guys we'll use on the bigger spoons. And then you'll need some spoons. Got a Castmaster here. Got the giant crocodile spoon. And I got this little Bagley weedless spoon. Now these are all pretty much the same how I rig them, so I'll show you on the giant crocodile spoon because I think that's going to be the easiest one to see here, and I'll show you where we go. So first thing I do when I get these are mostly made in China, so the hook is generally hot garbage, so I'm going to take that hook off first things first. So split ring pliers, get the hook out of the way first. So kind of pop that split ring open, get that hook started, and then we just keep on coming around here. Now you have a choice to make. Do I use the split ring that's on here, or do I switch it out? I usually end up losing these in the rocks before the split rings rust out. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave those on. Then what I'm going to do is get one of these swivels. I have the Spro Power Swivels, 230 pound test. Big swivels for big lures. Pop one of those out, and we're going to rig that on the front. I like to pre-rig all my spoons with swivels. That way when I'm out fishing, I can grab a spoon out of the tackle box, tie it directly onto my leader, whatever I'm using, and it goes right out there, no problem. Don't need to worry about having a swivel on my line or anything. Now, the reason for this swivel is very, very simple. Spoons typically spin in the water. That's what they do. And if you don't have a swivel on, it's going to cause you massive line twist. And if you're using a spinning reel, it's going to make you have a very bad day very, very quickly. Even on casting reels, I notice if I'm using a spoon a lot without a swivel, I tend to get a lot more backlashes because that line just gets twisted and twisted over and over and over again. So that's why I always like to pre-rig with a swivel, and then I tie directly onto the swivel with my leader, or if I'm using braid, I'll generally go straight to braid. Just really depends on where I'm fishing. In the surf, I'll tie straight to braid, no problem. At the jetties, I usually try to have a little steel leader, and you can go from there, right? So now let's talk about the back hook. We've already established that the giant treble hook I have is hot trash, not very sharp. Certainly not saltwater corrosion resistant, and I really like switching to single hooks on the spoon, especially for the jetties. It's going to just kind of help you prevent some snags and make it generally easier to fish with, and I think you don't lose anything when it comes to hookups. So I'm going to grab a large number 7 single hook. And these are Owner. These are the 3X replacement hooks. I like to use the 7/0, right? Big girls. Okay, so if you compare that to my treble, See, I have a much wider gap, but I only really have one of them, one hook that is. So when I catch a fish, I'm not worrying about, hey, how many hooks are flying around. I've had fish get snagged before on rocks and weeds, etc., on one of the points of the treble, and this is really going to minimize that. So I pop this open, and these are, again, really thick, so you have to get really close to the end here of your swivel when you're popping it open to try to get it open as wide as possible, and we just slide that right in there. All right, and push it through and then pull it all the way around. So I like to push and then pull, makes it easier, and it'll come back and snap into place. Boom, and there we go. I am all set to get some smacks. All right guys, let's talk about the Bagley weedless. This one is roughly the same, but the weedless spoons are the ones that I see that people mess up the most, in that they tie directly to the lure on the little eye right here, right? It's super easy to just go like, oh hey, I'll just tie right on here and I'll be good to go. You're not. You're going to cause yourself massive problems if you tie onto that. So I get the owner. These are the number 6 Hyperwire split rings. I really like these. They're super strong. And then I like to use these Spro heavy swivels. They're kind of barrel swivels, but they have a relatively low profile, and they're really small and lightweight, so it doesn't impact the spoon as much as say a big normal barrel swivel, and they still provide a lot of line twist prevention. They still spin really well. So again, the process is roughly the same. Okay, so what I like to do is get my split ring and my swivel, and I'll do this step first because it's easier to get the swivel onto the split ring when it's not already on the lure. So again, we just kind of pop it open in the front, spin it around, and there I have the barrel swivel on the split ring. Okay, and then we bring in our lure, and we're gonna pop open the split ring here, and then we're going to take the lure and spin it around the split ring. So again, this pops right in there, pretty easy. Feed it through a bit and then just spin it all the way around. And there you go. Now you have it already rigged up on your swivel, ready to go. And again, I really like to try to batch these up so they're all ready to go. When I pull them out of the tackle box, I don't have to do anything. I tie them on and away we go. Now, when it comes to actually tying this to my line, I don't think the knot really matters too much. Whatever knot you're comfortable with, a uni knot, a Canoeman loop knot, which you can learn how to tie by clicking the link up above. Any knot will do. Make sure it's strong and make sure you know how to tie it. If you want to see what kind of fish these spoons can catch, click on the video over here, and please hit the subscribe button so I can continue to make more videos for you. Take care. Tight lines.